You got your Seint makeup in the mail today, right? And you're looking at it and you have no idea what to do with it or where any of it goes. That's okay. I felt like that about 3 years ago when I first started using it as well. That's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to go ahead and just put on a normal kit that most people get. It's going to be a mid-size kit. And before we do anything, there are two things that I do. I always put some lip moisturizer on. If your lips are a little dry, do that so it has time to soak in. Also, skincare. Do your skincare first, ladies. I use a toner, I use a serum, I use a facial oil, and I use sunscreen. Those 4 things, okay? Don't ever go without sunscreen. If you are someone that moisturizes and your moisturizer is a little thick, especially, I would say put your skincare on at least about 30 minutes before you're gonna put your makeup on, because this is cream makeup and we wanna give time for that creamy moisturizer to be absorbed into the skin. So put it on a little early, okay? We're gonna go ahead and show you just what we do with that kit. While my moisturizing is getting absorbed, I like to do my eyes. So I get that out of the way. That gives time for my skincare to be absorbed. So I've already done my eyes today. I did my brows with a little bit of my contour, which I will show you. And ladies, if you have hooded eyes, you want to just remember to keep that brow tail kind of high. Don't bring it down low. They'll just drag your eye down more. Keep that high so you have a lot of real estate here on the outside, okay? And what I used was I did my brows with my contour. I used a mid-tone, kind of medium brown right up here above the crease. On the outside, I used a darker color, like in a little V right here. And on the lid, I like to use a shimmer. Let's see, you probably received a kit, and it's going to be either one like this, which is a compact 12. It holds 6 tins in the top and 6 full-size tins in the bottom. If you got a little more makeup, you probably needed an 18. This is an 18, and it holds 9 tins in the top and 9 tins on the second level. So I'm assuming most people end up with either a 12, or sometimes they just have a 4 or an 8. That's okay. After my eyes are done, I generally will start with my contour, because when I'm teaching it, going with the contour first is just a very easy way for me to show, because it makes like a little road map on your face and kind of shows you where everything needs to go. I'm assuming you may have gotten a couple of brushes. One is my detail brush. Generally, that's my favorite one. I have another favorite, and this is the blend brush, a very fluffy end and a tiny end. And this is the blush and bronzer brush. Okay, more than likely you got all 3 of these or 2 of them. Like I said, we're going to start with our contour. Mine is a little used. You can see it's very loved, okay? I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to get quite a bit on here. Now, if yours is brand new, you're not going to want to do this. Mine is used a little bit, and the contours generally will get a little drier the older they get. So sometimes you have to kind of, put a little bit more on, but yours is going to be brand new, and all you're going to have to do is barely touch it. You do not want to put a lot on. It's very pigmented. This will go a long way, so you can always put more on. Don't put too much on at the beginning. So I start with my contour. I generally will start right here under my cheekbones. Pretty much that's the best thing that contour does, is it will give us an illusion of cheekbones if you have kind of lost that. I'm almost 70, I'm 69, and I don't really look like I have cheekbones anymore. So I'm gonna make some cheekbones, right? All I did was I used the edge of this brush, okay? Can you see just the edge? And it makes like a little line. Now, generally, you will not want to come in much closer than the end of your eye. You can, though, if you want some more fullness in your face, instead of just going down, you can kind of bring this up a little bit, and this will give you a fuller cheek area. Contour goes there. I always like to put some around the perimeter of my face here too, because I happen to have a high forehead. Anything more than like 3 fingers is probably considered high. You probably want to put a little bit up here. What does contour do? It just creates a shadow. That is all. We want a shadow on our face, because think about it. If you're looking at a still life picture, you know how the light comes down, and when you see something dark and light, it makes a shadow. You can also do a little bit under here, especially if you are like me and you are getting the jowl thing right here. We can go like in back and bring that forward, and you can bring it up on that jowl just a little bit. Remember, you're going to remember that anything that you put on your face that is dark is going to make that area recede. And anything that you put something light on is going to make that area come forward or stand out. Okay, so right here on my jowl, I want to bring that contour up just a little bit. Okay, also I have the turkey neck going on here, right? I'm going to put some down here. I want that to kind of disappear a little bit. Next, if you want to contour your nose, you can. If you have a real thin nose to begin with, you probably don't need to. If it's a little wider than you like, you can contour it. You can use this, or you can use your fingers. I'm going to use this so you can see. Again, I'm using just the edge of that brush. And I'm going to do this side first. It doesn't go on the side. It goes on the top of your nose, right? The top part of it you can bring into your brows. And we have a little line there. I'm going to do the other side. I'm leaving that little space there in the middle because I want this side where that is dark, I want that to recede or get slimmer. And I want the bridge of my nose to come forward, so I'm going to put something light here. That's it for nose contour. Okay, here we go. We're going to put contour in our compact right there. If you were someone that got a little bit more than a mid-size kit and you got a bronzer, okay, you can do a little bit of bronzing either first before you put the rest of your makeup on, or you could do it later. We're going to do it later, okay? This is Bella bronzer. All right. If you are someone that needed color correcting, most people do. Most people have redness, or they have some really dark spots, or they might even have dark under their eyes. I probably gave you a color correct. And what it is the color that is in your skin that is excess color. We want to find out what that color is, and then we want to go to the opposite side of the color wheel, and we want to pick up that color, and that's what we're going to put on the skin imperfections, okay? Well, I have some redness. I'm always red around here. So I'm going to use my color correct, which mine is called Sandy. Yours might be something different. And I don't need very much at all. I'm just going right here around my nose and down my little smile line. And you're going to see that it kind of turns a little bit orange. That's okay. I have excess blue in my skin. So a little bit of orange is going to neutralize that blue. Okay, a little bit of redness here on my chin. Some right there too. We always have redness around our mouth a little bit, along with the wrinkles, because we talk all the time. We sleep here. I have some deep wrinkles right here, deep, really deep. This is the side I've slept on for 60 years, okay? All right, and if you were someone that had some darkness around your eyes, you can take your color correct. You can take your little ring finger and barely tap it just once. There's almost nothing there, okay? I'm gonna have you take your finger and just barely tap. That is all that you're probably going to need in order to turn that darkness kind of orange. You have excess greenish blue in that brown. It looks brown, but it's actually excess green and blue. If it has a muddy color, that's what it is. And you need something a little more orange to neutralize that, okay? I'm gonna go on the other side with that. You can use a brush as well. If you use a brush, you wanna use a tiny tip like this end of the detail brush. Fits great in there. If you have redness anywhere else, and I've told you to put that, use your color correct first. If you don't remember where it goes, pull out your text or email that I sent you with your color match results, because it has your face map on there. It also has the names of your foundation shades, and it will tell you what they are. Is this one a color correct? Is this one your main? Is this one a brightener? It will tell you what it is so that you can follow along with this. Okay, we just used the color correct. I'm going to put that in here next. That was the color correct. Now, let's brighten first. And your brightener is going to be, this is my main color. I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is my main color. This is the one that most closely matches my skin tone. If you have a brightener, it's like 1 to 2 shades lighter. So you're going to look at it, and the one that's brighter is going to be your brightener. We're going to use that first. Again, you can take this little brush. I'm going to just barely touch it, right? Where I put that color correct looks a little bit orange. I had you do it very, very thin, okay? Very thin, because we don't want a big cakey mess, because you're going to take your brightener and more than likely you're probably going to go over it. I want to brighten the center of my face. So I'm going to go right here and right here. And whatever's left on your brush, you can tap if you need to. Bring this down, maybe the side of your nose, right there. Tapping it again for the other side. Girls, you need almost a nothing, very, very, very little bit. See how the center of my face is brightened now? I'm going to put a little bit right here on my Cupid's bow. So we want the tip of our lip to kind of stand out, and the chin. Next, right here between our eyes. Unless you have a lot of the 11 lines and they're really deep up here, you probably wouldn't want to put a brightener up there because it will emphasize it. It's lighter and it will emphasize it. I'm going to go ahead because I don't have those lines, and I'm just going to go right here in between my brows. Bring that up a little bit. Lastly, bridge of my nose. I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to squeeze the end of it. It's my detail brush, and this is the end. I'm going to squeeze the end of it so that I get like a little line. I dipped it in my brightener, and it's going to come right down the center of my nose. Okay, now we will blend that out in a bit. But do you see that? How the bridge of my nose comes forward? Okay, that's your brightener. We did contour. We now brighten the center of our face. We're gonna fill in around where we don't have anything else with our main color, which is the one that matches your skin tone. Okay, I forgot to put this in. This was the brightener. That's what we just got done using. There's the brightener. Next is the main. If you don't need any makeup here, if you don't need any foundation here, don't put any on. And if you need just a small amount, and you have this blend brush, this one is perfect because it's a very little fluffy brush. It will give you the lightest application. Right now I'm going to go back and use my detail brush for that. And I'm just like tapping a couple times. That's it. And if you had any, wherever you have color correct, don't swipe. You want to tap or stipple. And that's going to give you the most natural look. So around the contour, we don't want to put any there. That's brightened. We're going to go right down here. And you guys, I have almost nothing on this brush. There's like nothing. If you want to come up here and just put a little bit in between your contour and your brightener, you can put a dab right here if you need to. There's no wrong way to do this, ladies. You are not going to do it wrong. If you put something wrong, you just blend it right out. Okay, that is basically our foundation. I'm going to take my mane, which mine is Athens. It's going right in here. So there's your 4 colors, and you probably got a lip color as well. The one I'm going to use is called Pink Grapefruit. Okay. Nice and pink, right? If it's too bright for you, you can always kind of bring it down a little bit. I love to mix colors, and I generally will put a matte on just like this. A lot of times then I will cover it with a shimmer that is a different color. This one is called Sunshine State, and it's a little bit of a peach color with a gold speckles in it. And I'm going to use that to go over this. It's still pink, but I have that pretty shimmer on it. All right, let's put a little bit on our cheeks for a blush. If you got the blush and bronzer brush, you can use this end of it. It's great. I tapped it 2 times. There's almost nothing on here. I'm just tapping it a little bit right above where I put that contour. Blend it in. And now is kind of when you can take that brush and just distribute that contour that we put down here, okay? You can still see it, but it's just a little bit blended in right now. And remember I said bronzer? If you want to put your bronzer on now, fill in where you think you need a little bronzer, go ahead and do that. Before I do that, I'm gonna just give it a good blend here. Another little blend to make sure everything is just blended well. And I don't have a lot underneath my eyes. There's not a bunch of cakey makeup underneath there to make a crease. And now I'm gonna blend out my nose a little bit. Just kind of softening that a little bit. Okay, blended. Let's put a little bit of bronzer on. I like to use the fluffy end of my blush and bronzer brush. And you can just kind of go like where the sun would normally hit you, the top of your face, your cheeks. I also like to kind of put a dab on my nose because you know your nose would probably get a little sun, chin. And I always use my bronzer to bring this down here because a lot of times after we put our makeup on, our face is a different color than our neck. Our face maybe needs, it's a little dark, and our neck is a little light. I might have indicated for you to put, if that happens, to put a little line of your brightener, and you can do that. Take your little brush and you can do your little line of brightener here. And that just helps your face to blend more with your neck. If I didn't indicate for you to do that, you don't have to, okay? So that is bronzer. Let me put some on the other side. Okay, if you got the bronzer, more than likely you got the bigger one because this has already filled up the 6 slots in the top. Illuminator. This is Honey. It's called Honey. It just is a little shiny. Now we have powder illuminators too, and they are a little more potent. They're going to stand out a little bit more. Me being almost 70 and mature skin, I don't want to emphasize my pores and all that. So I try to do the cream because it's a little less potent, if you know what I mean. You see that? I just have that nice little shine there. That is the illuminator. That's really it. If you're someone that likes to set your makeup, you can either set it with the setting spray or you can set it with powder. I happen to have some finishing powder here. This powder is our Vanilla Dust finishing powder. And I'm just going to take this fluffy brush again. My makeup is all set. Generally, I can get my makeup on, eyes and all, usually under 10 minutes, okay? 8 or 9 minutes, something like that. So there you go. This is a mid-size starter kit. If you have any questions or any problems at all putting it on, anything I can help you with, that is what I'm here for as your makeup mentor. You can call me, you can text me. I will help you with anything, never any charge for that, okay? I hope you enjoyed it. If you got something out of this, I hope you will hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions, get in touch with me. My name is Mindy from Mindy Over 50, and I will see you on my next one. Bye now.